Hey, what's up, guys? RC Hobby Steve here. Back on the workbench for another RC review. Today I'm going to be reviewing my Element RC Enduro trail truck. Now, I've had this truck for, I would say, about a month. I've driven it a couple of times, enough so that I can give you guys a review. So, there's a lot of things about this truck that are good, and there's a lot of things about this truck that I just can't explain, basically. So first, right off the bat, are these three things I have on my right. So here are the front and rear bumpers. As you can see, they're gigantic. Now the front bumper is not all that bad, to be honest with you guys, because this can be pushed back a whole lot. It can probably be pushed in a whole lot more than what it is right now, and you get a little bit more clearance. But for approach angles on the corners, it's not so good, especially the rear bumper. These pieces are so long that they just flop around on the rocks, so I had to remove it. That was the easy fix, was removing the front and rear bumper, and I didn't have an issue. I did mock up a steel bumper, but I don't know what these pieces are. The mounting pieces that I made were too skinny, so it didn't really mount up the right way, and it kept wobbling, so I just removed it. Second downfall of this truck is the servo is not that strong. You're getting a nice waterproof Metal Gear servo, but the torque in this is not all that well. I would suggest going on Amazon or eBay and buying one of those 20 kg servos. This is a 13 kg Metal Gear servo, so the 20 kg would be your best option. But if you have a couple more dollars to spare, I would say get yourself a Savox waterproof servo. That's the standard, not the high voltage one, and that one does perfectly fine. Has enough torque to get you over the rocks and stuff, especially with such a light truck like this one. So yeah, that was the first couple things I just had to get rid of on this truck. I went ahead and also repainted the truck. I went with a yellow, so that's why you see spots of yellow, and the yellow I used wasn't necessarily for Lexan bodies. I would say I've used it in the past for hard bodies. It did say that it bonds to any type of plastic, but it just started bubbling, so I went ahead and sanded down the whole body enough that I was able to repaint the body in this color, because it was the only nice color I had. I still have to do other coats of black. I did the fenders, which were also blue, but the blue and the black offset it quite well. Another downfall is, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the alignment in the rear is not all that great, especially on the other side. The tire can be, the links could be lengthened just, I would say, 2 to 3 millimeters out, and it'll be perfectly in the middle. The same thing with the front. I feel like the front should be pushed back a couple millimeters, so that way it's perfectly aligned in the middle and it's not rubbing against anything. Like you guys can see, I had to cut off this piece and it's already rubbing right there. So that's easily adjustable. I can cut down the rod end piece, and make the length shorter. I did that with, I believe, my Red Cat Gen 8. So it's an easy fix, but it's something that I noticed right out the box. The body is a little on the flimsy side. It's really thin plastic, but obviously you can always replace the body or stiffen it with I forget, I think it's like wall patching people use on the inside with some shoe glue on over it to stiffen the body, or you can even use Gorilla Tape. I've used that in the past. It worked really well to prevent the body from bending here and there. I did replace the lights. The lights weren't that bright. They were really cool. I still have them, but I went ahead and replaced them with some lit LED lights because I wanted something just a tad bit brighter than I had already on the truck. So go ahead and remove the truck and go to the main piece of it all. Now right off the bat, I'm pretty sure you guys can tell, this tire is popped out to be beadlock. So yes, these are beadlock wheels. These are Methods. I don't know what's the name of the wheel, but I know the brand is a Method. This popped out on my drive earlier today, I don't remember when it happened. I just noticed when I was crawling over a rock, this piece was popped out, and you can literally pull the tire out. So that's not really good. So what I'm gonna have to do is either fix it and make sure the beads are properly sealed, and probably get a little longer screw so it's more tight, or replace the bead lock with a Proline Impulse bead lock. So this is a five screw bead lock, and it screws into the back rather than the front here. So this gives you a tighter compression on the tire, which is cool. And I've never had a problem with the tires popping out of these bead locks. Tires overall are okay. They tend to slip a lot on the rocks, and especially on loose dirt, they don't really do well. I would say rocks in general is your best bet for this truck, but when you're going from rocks to sand to like loose dirt, and then smaller rocks and all that other mumbo jumbo, you kind of need a whole lot of wheel speed just to get over, rather than using that low end speed and torque to get over certain obstacles. Basically, if you understand what I'm saying. I like my trucks to drive low and slow, so I use that wheel speed when I can. The shocks on this truck are pretty good. I had to lower my shocks by placing a spacer on the inside body of the shock, just to lower the ride height a little bit. I don't like my rigs with way too much flex. I like that realistic flex, and I feel like just enough flex will get you over whatever you need to get over. I don't see why you need the tire to be like all the way up here just so you can get over something. You know what I mean? It hinders your performance when you're out crawling. So it gives you a better chance of just flopping over rather than having it at a lower point. So that's one of the things I did. I would recommend it if you guys are interested in that mod. Another mod that you can do to lower your ride height is basically putting your shock on the lower end where the link is at, and just cutting this piece off, so that way this piece of the shock doesn't hit that brace right here. But overall, the truck hasn't given me much problems. I would say it drives really smooth. The steering could be aligned just a tad bit. I noticed the tire back there is more pushed to the left rather than centered, and this tire on the right is perfectly centered. So sometimes you'll see the truck drive to the side a little bit. So I just have to adjust the tie rod, the steering link out a little bit, so that tire is nice and straight. The truck did come with some extra parts, like an extra battery tray to run your bigger batteries, and then your overdrive gears to put in here. Now this truck does come with plastic gears on the inside. Some of them are metal, so just like the main gears are plastic, but I don't see the gears in this transmission breaking anytime soon, especially with the way I drive. So yeah, ESC, I would say, is the last thing I can talk about right now. While reversing, the truck goes super fast, so you don't have like that slow control while reversing. So just to have something better, I would just buy a quick run ESC, like the 1080 is what everybody usually recommends, and that'll fix that problem ASAP. But overall, this is a great truck. There's a lot that you can really do to this truck. It just takes time and some money and some thought. I do have to look into what parts are available as upgrades for this rig right now. I would love to add some metal C-hubs to this truck. I see that possibly the axial ones would work on here, but I know the top piece up here is a little different. So I just have to, well, no, yeah, the C-hub, I can get a metal C-hub from Axial because the outer piece will still work with the steering and all that stuff. So I just have to see what's out there. I might also change the tires out to possibly I don't know if I'm gonna go with the Traxxas tires, or I have some tires in here. I have my TA crawlers that I might put in. So it's a slightly taller tire, same width. This is a there's a 4.75 compared to a 4.65 tire. So 10 more than what this tire is. So still debating. This is an amazing tire. This tire does okay, but for now I would say go ahead to your local hobby store, or go online like I did to TireHobbies.com and use their easy pay option to get you this truck. Their easy pay option is a great way to get RC trucks and an affordable financing option. So they split the entire truck payment into 3 months, and then the first payment you either you pay the third half of the truck, including shipping, unless you're like one of their Super Saver members and you don't have to pay shipping. So great option if you want to get this truck. Currently I swapped the body out for now to my old Ford Raptor body. I don't know if you guys remember this truck. I did have to mod the back a little bit. It looks great on this truck, by the way, on this chassis. The only thing I had to modify was, well, not really modify, add on, pretty much. I also have to cut it down. I use these body mounts, the ones that curve out, and I screwed a hole in here. I made sure I checked how low I needed it. Luckily it was the last hole, and I just used the screw that mounts into these pieces here to hold the rear bumper mount, and I used the same screwed it in, and it's tight enough that it doesn't rotate, but as soon as I put the body on, it basically sits right on top of it. So boom, and then basically I just stick my body pins through there. I did have a piece up here, I think it was like an old cage, but I just need to clean the body up, make it sort of look nice. It's really all scratched up and beat up. But yeah guys, go ahead, go outside, have some fun with your RC trucks, go learn the good and bad about them, and at the end of the day, just, you know, have fun. Whether there's something bad about the truck, who cares? It's fixable. You can always just go online, buy an upgraded part, or make the part yourself at home, like I do half the time. Make some parts myself, and the problem is fixed. If your problem is fixable on these trucks, then go ahead and fix it rather than complaining. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you do enjoy the video. I hope this helps you with your purchase of the Element RC Enduro trail truck. And if it did, leave a comment down below. If you do have any questions about this truck that I couldn't answer for you, feel free to leave that question down in the comment section, and I'll do my best to help you out. Pretty soon, crossing my fingers, you're going to see my friend Chris and I out on the trails at Green Hill Park, or possibly the closest park that is by us, Cascade, out trailing together. He has the Element RC Enduro with some mods and some upgrades already done to it. My truck is somewhat standard, slight mods, probably weighs a little bit more than his at the moment, but stay tuned for that video. I also have some more content coming for my Red Cat Gen 8, my Jeep, and then I have this sitting on the side because I have to build some links for it because it has plastic links on it, and I have to replace that crappy body. But that's a whole nother story. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Stay cool, have fun, see you later. Peace.